I want to put you on the spot now and finish with some rapid fire questions, if that's okay with you. Let's see how
I'll
you
try.
go. I'll put
Okay.
my little cue card here. Okay, everybody, this is Elizabeth Blades' quick rapid fire questions. What advice would you give your younger self if you could tell her one thing?
Don't take everything so seriously.
Nice, I like that. Three people you'd like to invite to a dinner party.
Oh, living or dead?
Any.
Oh, good Lord. Three people for a dinner party. Hugh Jackman. Who would I like to invite? Michelle Obama.
Mm.
From the past, my great 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 grandfather. Because we can't figure out, he came from Scotland. His name was James Henry Fraser. And if you're an Outlander fan, everybody perks up. Fraser. Yes, yes. My mother was Geraldine Ann Fraser. Her father was Charles Andrew Fraser. His father was Charles Henry Fraser. And his father was James Henry Fraser. My sister's the genealogist of the family. And we can trace them all back. We even know where the grandfather, great grandfather are buried. But James is a mystery. He came to the United States as a young boy, but we didn't know where he came from. And so I would love to have him reappear and tell me his life history.
Amazing, filling that gap on the family tree.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. That was a somewhat longer answer, but that's fine. You still
I'm
passed.
sorry. Yeah, you had to get a little background
Yeah, no,
information.
perfect. The perfect. Okay, what's the one thing you can't live without? Can be an object or could be an action.
Right now, my kitty Casey. I'm surprised he hasn't jumped up and he's sitting right behind me. He's waiting for me to finish.
Oh,
He is my buddy. He's my soulmate, and I just yeah, I I I can't live without him. And he's 14, so I hope I have him for quite a while longer.
oh,
I've always
lovely.
had a cat. I've always had a
Okay.
cat.
What is your favorite Beatles song?
Oh, it has to be yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
Takes me back to my very early adolescence, first of all. And it's just, yeah. Isn't that like one of the most recorded songs
Oh,
ever?
and for good reason. For good
Yes.
reason. And
Hmm.
speaking of your adolescence, what was your favorite piece of clothing from the 60s?
We were pretty staid. My mother made a lot of my school clothes. We were required to wear skirts and sweaters and no pants, no slacks. It wasn't a uniform. It was just that's what you wore to school.
Hmm.
So I really don't know if I had a favorite. Maybe in the late 60s where bell bottoms came in. Of course, I had to, have my bell bottoms. So I guess that would be it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the worst piece of advice you've ever given?
Mm. I don't
You've probably
usually
never given any.
I don't give advice unless asked for it. Um, Worst piece of advice? I can't say anything about
Oh,
that. I'm sorry. Maybe what
nicely
I was.
evaded. No.
Thank you. If I
Okay,
gave bad advice, I don't accept that I gave bad advice.
that's also a good position to take. So, aside from Hugh Jackman, what's the
Mhm.
first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Australia?
Koalas
Oh, of course. Would
and
kangaroos be
all
second?
the well, yeah, but they're not nearly as cute as koalas. And the tragedy of the fires. I followed that so closely every single day. Just devastating.
Mm, mm.
My heart hurts for you all.
Oh, and some of those photos that just captured the wildlife and yeah,
Yeah,
it was horrific.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
How do you perceive Australians to be different to Americans?
I think your joy and your right now, particularly, we're a very divided country. I'll leave that where it is.
Mm,
And that negative energy has invaded and impeded so much of the natural, optimistic American human spirit. I think by as a people, um, very open and normally joyful. I think Australians are a wonderful blend of good humor, and intellect, and not taking yourself so seriously.
Yes, I would agree, and also would commiserate with the state that America is in at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, moving right along. Favorite teaching moment? Do you have
Favorite teaching? All the time. Every single week, every single lesson, there's at least one sort of, oh my God, there it is. Yes, yes, yes. And you have to understand, most of my current students are people in their 40s to near 70, no, to 80, between 40 and 80. I have 3 younger students, a couple of teenagers, and one who's, I guess you would call it early, 11, whatever that would be, almost teenager. And it's the adults. The kids are great, you know, they always are. I have one young woman who's 18, moving on to go to university, but the adults are the most fun because they're all grown up. First of all, the ego is not as fragile. I can be very blunt with them, and I will be, and they love it and they accept it. And during this shutdown, it's amazing how many of them, they're all performers, maybe not professional, but they all had concerts and musical performances coming up within 2 weeks of the pandemic shutting everything down. And all of those performances, you know, choral performances, all vanished and just dissipated. And we don't even know when they're going to be rescheduled, if ever. Every single one of my adult students have said to me, this is my time. Actually, at first it was devastating, but now I realize this is a gift, because I'm always getting ready for a performance, and now there's no performance. I can really focus on me. I can focus on those parts of my voice or my singing that just don't feel quite as free as I like them to, or they're not as established as I want them to be. And I just get so excited.
Yeah,
so
and
excited.
It's such a joy to watch you talk about it, because you clearly do love what you do, and your students are clearly very lucky to be able to work with you. And I did have some more questions, but that seems like a perfect place to leave this interview, because it's such a lovely demonstration of who you are as a singing teacher, but who you are as a person. And I hope you've enjoyed listening to this as much as I have enjoyed chatting with Elizabeth. I thank you for the time that you spent chatting to me today. I've certainly learned a lot, and it's been really nice to find out a little bit about the woman behind the incredible biography.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me the time to talk about myself. It's something I usually don't do.